Hello, it's Lorraine here, Lorraine Bell. Just wanted to share some thoughts with you about how mindfulness and DBT can help us at this time. I'm here in my office at St Mary's. Firstly, I'd like to say that I know this is very stressful for everyone, especially those who have a limited income or money worries, or no personal space outdoors to retreat to. It's touching us all in different ways, and we're most definitely all in the same soup. This is a time of heightened risk, and there is a real threat to our well-being, our livelihood and way of life. If ever mindfulness was needed, it's now. It's only by staying grounded, centered, and mindful that we can tolerate and find some acceptance for these exceptional levels of uncertainty. It's also an extraordinary opportunity. The necessity to socially distance ourselves can provide us with the time and space to reach within and find moments of stability, stillness, or calm as we reduce our usual activity and distractions. As we say, can we make lemonade out of lemons? As well as inviting us to find our wise mind, it also invites us to be compassionate, to think of our needs alongside the needs of others. The coronavirus has separated us physically, but also brought us together as a human race or as a community. It may have brought you more connection to your family and friends. I hope so. It requires us to think at all times both of ourselves and of others. Anything we do that puts others at risk also puts us at risk. Anything we do that helps protect others from the virus also helps protect us from getting it. These are familiar dialectical truths to us in the DBT or mindfulness community. I would like to invite you to think about which skills are most helpful to you right now. To notice our own mind, the stories the mind gives us, and our reactions to situations that we find difficult. Obviously, this requires radical acceptance in many ways, and cultivating that over and over. Noticing what helps us to feel better, and noticing what doesn't help. Negativity can also be contagious. What do you need at different points across the day? Do you need rest, play, connection? How can you find that? Many of us are getting overloaded with information, so let's notice how that affects us and try and do what's helpful. Curiosity about this strange event is very natural, and yet if things are beyond our control, is it helpful to feed that with too many facts or images? Acceptance and willingness, for example, to do things we don't like doing, like following rules. Not dwelling in our judgments. For example, when people don't observe the 2-meter rule or crowd us in a supermarket or on the pavement. Can we find a compassionate viewpoint on that? Perhaps some people are at a different stage of dealing with the pandemic by minimizing it or even denying it. Our ability and willingness to respond appropriately to that situation, as we know, fluctuates. And we've all buried our head in the sand when problems seem too big. Flexibility and willingness will help us get through this. Willingness to surf difficult emotions and roll with heightened levels of anxiety and stress. Beginner's mind will be essential, as it's natural at times that we'll get angry or want to cheat or break the rules and just forget and find ourselves getting too close to someone. Noticing when we've done that and starting again. Taking care of ourselves. Our routines at this time are absolutely essential to our surviving this. Having regular times that we eat and exercise, going to bed and getting up at regular times will help if we can. Doing our DBT diaries and keeping our therapy appointments. How can you self-soothe, especially when you feel anxious? Identifying our needs. If I'm anxious, what do I need? If I'm lonely, what do I need? And responding to those needs flexibly. How can we connect to others in different ways, building bridges, contacting people we haven't spoken to for some time perhaps, letting go of grudges, also focusing on supporting and helping others. If we want connection from others and it isn't happening, can we reach out to people? If we aren't getting that contact when we'd like it, are we willing to practice emotional exposure to feeling alone or empty? So even though we're not seeing you face to face, or perhaps having the level of contact we would like to have with you or you would like to have with us, you are in our hearts and in our minds. Please stay well.